So here we are, my first Set for Life podcast. And honestly, the homegirl Reverie is the one that kind of encouraged me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just my first one. So here we go. Here's nothing. Here's everything.
I'm happy to be the first one. That's cool.
I
It's
said
cool.
here's nothing. Here's everything.
No, you must say here goes nothing.
Yeah, here goes nothing. No, here goes everything.
Huh, here goes everything.
So the whole Set for Life podcast for me, I've always been pushing, just growing up, nobody really directed us to do the right things that make sense. I learned a lot of game from people, from the streets, and like, I don't know, like, does that even sound right? Like,
Yeah, for sure. We didn't have enough mentors growing up wherever it was that we grew up, in the LA area. And so we got a lot of our life experience and life knowledge and understanding from the streets and from the people that we grew up with, right? When you don't have enough guidance and mentors, you're going to find information somewhere.
Yeah. And Rev was like one of the people who I was like, damn, like the way she thinks and the way she moves, I resonate with. Like,
Same.
I was like,
Same.
I was like, she's obviously reading and being self-aware that we don't know everything, and there's a certain, because when I was young, I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Like, why am I not, like, I always wanted to be like those people who were cool doing things, but I was never included. So I was
yeah, I know the feeling.
So I was like, what the fuck first of all, why don't they want me to be involved? And second, I'm just gonna go do my own shit, right? Kind of like, and that's what I've always done. I built so many different things on myself because of the lack of support, of not being, I guess, what was the word? I don't want to be
embraced and accepted and understood.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what we want to touch on.
Yeah, I feel that I've always had that same experience too. Even when I was young, like really young in high school, and I never was like part of the cool crowd, and I was always just kind of an outcast, I guess. And yeah, that taught me a lot of independence. That taught me to stick up for myself. That taught me to be very selective with who I allowed to get close to me. And as an adult, I guess I've always stood out, and who I am and what I believe in and what I practice is not very common, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess that's why when I meet other people like you, like myself, it's really cool to be able to discuss different things that the average person doesn't really talk about.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the more I realize, Jimmy, that a lot of people don't really have these deep conversations. A lot of people mostly just have surface conversations.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And that's and that's one of the things. What's weird is, as me doing business and as me learning how to do different things, I never realized that just knowing was power.
Yeah.
I always felt like you had to be like the actor in the best position in the show, or like everybody needs to know you're the boss. And as I was, as I figured out that, man, just the knowledge I have and how I could make things more valuable, just that knowledge itself was like power. You know
Hell
what I mean?
yeah. I feel that 100%.
And that once I got that in my head, I was like, damn, I'm a valuable ass person. Like I could literally get any product and blow it the fuck up. So I don't know. Once I started learning that, my whole life kind of changed, because now I kind of put value on myself, and I wasn't just trying to fit in. Like, I was the motherfucker who make things happen. If anything, people needed me,
Yeah, that's a trippy feeling.
But look, one of the things that I really like about you, Rev, is first of all, your music is fucking crazy, right?
Thank you.
And I also feel like you press the envelope in a lot of stuff, which is, I don't want to say weird, but creative, where it's not the common creative from our circle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what the fuck happened there? What made you become that person? Because I feel like you're one of those people who, I'm going to do it regardless. I don't give a fuck if it costs me money, if nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. So where does that come from?
It just really comes from a place of creativity and art. I always say that a lot of people, they just start rapping so they could get rich and famous, which is cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I started making my art, whether that was graffiti or my clothing line, the Satori Mob, or my rapping or whatever it is, my directing with my videos, it's always been from a place of creativity, and it's always been very therapeutic for me. So with that being said, whatever I put out, it's inspired by something that I'm going through or went through, or that somebody I love is going through or went through. And I guess that's why I just continue to do what I want, because it all started with art, and it's still very much about the art for me. And like you said, like, yeah, I know that most people love the most as of now in my career when I do gangster rap, but I don't want to just do gangster rap. Like, I'm not just a gangster. Like, now I have changed my life. I am a businesswoman. I am a woman, you know, I'm feminine. I have a feminine side. I also am a person with problems and a family, and, you know, all the things that we all go through, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess I struggled with being different so much when I was young, but now I am comfortable with it. Like you said, like, I've never been really the one that's everyone's tries to fuck with me, and I'm always trying to please everybody. Like, that's never been me. And it's still not now that I'm older. And I don't want to live my life trying to please everybody, because it's exhausting and it's impossible.
Yeah, that alone took me a long time to even figure out, like you said, trying to make everybody happy. I have a big problem with trying to make everybody happy.
I feel like most people do, and I feel like that's something that everyone will struggle with as long as we're alive. It's like those lessons that you have to learn over and over and over. That's one of them. Like, not to try to please everybody, because we're human. Of course we want to be loved. Of course we want to be understood. Of course we want people to like what we do, you know, but I mean, that's just not really how the world works, and that's okay.
You know, like, I feel like since we were little kids, something happened to us that we carry that all our lives, but we don't realize it. You know what I mean? We don't realize that little one thing has molded us, and we kind of, it's when you peel us back, that little incident really made us who we are now.
Yeah.
What's one of the things that you think you went through that you can say, hey, my underlying goal, like, for example, me, like, I mean, I try to be a businessman. Well, I am a businessman, but I try to give that persona, right? Like that's what I want. That's what I want to be. So I feel like you manifest that. So you gotta be it. You just can't say you are, right? So I do everything to do that. But
you walk the walk and you talk the talk, and you're a man of your word and your actions.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And yes, exactly. But I feel like really, really something happened to me when I was small.
Which was what?
I don't know. Like, that's a very, like, man, so many things happened to me. I remember, man, it could be lots of stuff, but I remember one time I used to be a DJ, right? So I was, you know, I wanted 1200s. My mom was never going to buy me that.
Yeah.
She was like, they were like 600 a piece, right? So she's like, she barely bought me shoes, right? We barely had enough money to buy shoes. So she was never going to buy me that, right? So
what are 1200s? I know nothing about their sneakers. Oh, turntables. Okay. I thought you were, okay.
To DJ.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So I went to the Swami. That's how I started working at the Swami. And, you know, $35 a week. I saved fucking like for 6 months or a year. Finally, I had the money, and I had some guy who was inside to me, right?
How old were you?
Fuck, I don't know. I was maybe like 12.
12. That's how long this fool's been hustling.
Right?
I just want to point that out. I knew you were really little.
I appreciate
but I want
that.
people to know how long you've been going at this shit.
So I bought these turntables from this guy. I give him the cash, and he's like, I'm gonna give you the turntables like in 2-3 weeks, right? You can bring it here. Get some little Red Bulls.
Dang, thank you so much. Thank you.
So you know, so I give him the money. He said, I'm gonna give it to you in 2 weeks. Whatnot. He never gave it to me. Ever. Like, yeah, like he vanished.
What? And wait, how did you know this guy from the Swami?
Yeah.
And you would see him there every day, and then he just disappeared when you gave him the money?
Yeah.
And how old was this guy?
Oh, he had to been like 23, 24, something like that.
To a 12-year-old. That's fucked up. That's the shit you endure on the road to living the life that Jaime has built for himself, okay?
So I feel like that was a big impact for me, because it taught me that I gotta do contracts. It taught me that, you know, you keep your word, don't steal from nobody, because I know how the fuck that shit felt. And it taught me, like, just you got to be on point with your business. You just can't give your money and your time to anybody.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something. But there's so many things that happened when I was small that I feel like it's still in me, and I'm still trying to, like, not prove it, but make sure it doesn't happen again to me.
Hell yeah. I feel like that translates into you learned your lesson about trusting certain people that didn't deserve the trust yet, obviously, you know. And that's another lesson that you gotta learn over and over in life. You know, a lot of people in life are gonna fuck you over, and that's just part of the game, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but you get better at deciding who's worth the trust as you experience. There's no way around it, right?
I'm not sure if Nipsey said it, but he's like,
wait, can you open this? I'm so sorry, because I don't want to break my nails.
I'm not sure if Nipsey said it, but he's like,
thank you.
An L is not a loss, it's a lesson.
It's powerful.
Yeah, so I was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's never a loss, it's a lesson. So that's, you know, when I heard that, I was like, just kind of clicked on my head, like, damn, that's so fucking true. But these type of perspectives, I think, is like, because I'm really deep into like all day. I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts. I'm listening to philosophers. I'm listening to, you know, when they have those big seminars. I'm listening to. I'm trying to figure.
Wait, I want to know some of your favorites. Drop some names, like your top 3 right now of the moment.
The top one that I go to all the time is Alan Watts.
Oh, he's so dope.
You guys can Google it. It's Alan Watts, and they even put it into dubstep, so you can listen to a dubstep version of him talking for like 3 hours.
Oh shit!
It's so sick, you know. So I listen to it all day. I listen to him. Well, he's like really one of my top main ones. But there's also like if you want some motivation, I think his name is Lee Brown.
I haven't heard it.
He's really good too. The Mike Tyson Hotbox. Have you heard?
No.
So you know imagine how much Mike Tyson have gone through.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen him, but he like literally says that he never wants to be that guy again.
What guy again?
The Mike Tyson guy, the guy who would fuck everybody up and who would just like nobody can ever touch him, and he's like so scared to be that guy again.
Damn, I bet that's a lot of weight.
And literally, he's on his podcast. Like sometimes he even cries. Like,
oh shit!
Like he's like it's.
That's cool.
So he's somebody who I look up to or I
dope.
listen to. I mean, they're just so many things that I'm you know, I'm just like I said, like I feel like I'm so fucking I just want to make sure that every move I make is on point, and perspective to me is everything. Like, yeah, the way you look at things, the way you think, the way you process, the way it's just, I want to be at the highest potential of it's like to an addiction at this point. Yeah. It's like, I don't even look at movies or podcasts. Yeah. But what's one of the things that you do? Like, I know you're deep in it too. So what's some of the people that that you listen to or
For sure, over the past few years, my number one is Jordan Peterson. Okay. Have you listened to his stuff? Mm-mm. He's really dope. Like, just search up Jordan Peterson. He has a podcast on Spotify that I was listening to. He does a bunch of lectures on YouTube, and he has his own website. He writes books and all kinds of dope shit. But yeah, he's just really, I like his philosophies and perspectives on life because he's very straightforward and realistic, but not to the point that he's pessimistic. Because I feel like even with myself, a lot of the things that I will tell people that I have discovered or realized about life, people take it the wrong way. And they'll be like, oh, that's so negative. That's not
like what? I don't
like, I can't even think of an example right now because that's just how I think. You know, I don't think it's negative the way I'm talking about things. Like, I think I'm talking about things in a realistic way. Got you. Maybe I'm not going by the Disney fairy tale or the Family of Four on TV, you know, but I just call things for what they are. And then sometimes people think that I'm being mean or I don't know.
Like if somebody tells you, hey, what do you think about my rapping? And you like go practice or what is that one of the things? Or
it could be something like that. That's a perfect example. Yeah, like people a lot of times, even in my personal life, sometimes my loved ones won't tell me something that they're going through because they know I'm gonna be like, tell them exactly what the fuck it is. Yeah, whether it's, you know, just telling them what it is. And I don't say it out of a place of disrespect. I say it because I really care. And I know everyone likes to sugarcoat shit, right? Everyone acts like nothing's a big deal. Everyone acts like, oh, it's fine. It's going to be fine. Oh, that's fine if you want to live your life like that forever. But I'm the person that's going to be like, you know, that's cool. If you want to do it this way, you can do whatever you want. It's your life. But also maybe if you tried this way over here, it would be a lot more beneficial to you in the long run. I'm like that person. But sometimes people just take it the wrong way. people. And I understand.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because we don't equip people. We don't raise people to be able to take constructive criticism as much as we should. And that's, for me, one of the best skills you could have in life is to be able to take constructive criticism, because if you don't listen to anybody else's ideas, you're never going to grow. It's like if I just put myself in this box and I just keep doing what I'm doing, and whenever anybody tries to give me a different tool to use to paint my little box, and I'm like, no, I don't want to use that tool, my box is fine the way it is, my box isn't going to be the same forever, you know?
Yeah.
But if somebody says, hey, if you put a little window on your box, you can see the view outside and maybe you'll enjoy your day more. You know, it's obviously just a metaphor, but you know, you have to be able to have suggestions. Oh, maybe if you put maybe you put a painting on the wall in your box, your house will be better. You know, like shit like that. Like, it's good to be able to take those things from people. You don't have to do what people say. Just because someone tells me to cut my hair and dye it blue doesn't mean I have to. But it's an interesting idea to understand. It's good for me to understand that some people in this world want me to cut my hair and dye it blue. So maybe in a music video, I could put a wig on that looks like I have my haircut with a blue wig. You know, it's just, obviously these are just metaphors. And I mean, that could be a literal example too, you know, just being able to take ideas in, I feel like is really important for growth and success. For sure.
That's one of the things too. For me, I used to always be like, especially with my team, I would always be the one like, no, we should do it this way. And now it's the fucking opposite. Now I'm just like, what should we do?
Yeah.
Like, fuck what I think, because I already tried my way and I've reached to a level of success, but not where I want to be. So it clearly shows me that I do not know exactly what I'm doing. To a certain level, I plateaued.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm like, tell me, like, literally everything done for OE, 1% is just me saying, I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, you know, besides before, I would like try to fucking micromanage everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, no, I don't, like, no, that's not my job. Like, don't ask. Yeah. But that was an interesting thing.
I feel that. Mm-hmm.
You know, I think one of the biggest things that that somebody also kind of told me was, your enemy doesn't have to be your enemy.
Meaning what? What does that mean to you? What did that mean when you heard it?
So, you know, a lot of people are always hating.
Uh-huh.
You know, like you said, you try to give them some type of an opinion, so they get kind of defensive, or
they think it's an attack.
Exactly,
instead
an attack.
Of an idea.
Exactly, instead of an idea. So, you know, when they told me that, like, your enemy doesn't have to be your enemy, it kind of pretty much telling me, like, just because they're telling you something negative, you don't have to react in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
that was I just wanted to say that. I thought it was cool, but it didn't sound that cool.
No, that is cool. I think that's really important. Like, it's so true, and it's just all about, like, we're talking about perspective, you know? You can either get pissed off when every time somebody talks shit to you and take it too hard and go inside and lock yourself in the room and never come out again.
Yeah.
You know, or you can say, you know what, that's just what that person thought of me, whether it was coming from a place of hatred and trying to hurt me or not. You know, you don't really know. Some people talk shit online and they're just bored.
Yeah.
And they know that you're not going to comment back when they write good comments. So then they're like, oh, let me talk shit. So, because I've seen her talk shit to other people and I could get a rise out of her like that. You know? So it's like.
That blows my mind that people literally do that.
Yes.
You know what? I've never, ever went on somebody's comment and said something like, your shit sucks.
Yeah.
I'll just move. I'll move to the next post. So it just does blow my mind that people, I mean, I get it too all the time, but yeah. I ignore it. I mean, I don't even pay no attention.
You don't block people?
No, I don't block nobody.
No, okay.
Maybe I block like one person out of my life.
Oh shit. Okay, that's.
But cool. I never block nobody because I feel like when you block them, then they just get a new name and they just do it with a different name.
Oh yes, they do, Jimmy.
So then you start playing this game, right? So when they say something, I don't even delete it sometimes.
Okay.
Actually, every time. But you know what's the good thing is I hardly get any hate on my page.
That must be really nice.
Hardly. Like once in a while, I'll get something and that's it. But I hardly get any negative.
You know what? That's really become a serious problem for me, you know? Mm-hmm. People talk shit to me every single day, like multiple times a day. I block people
crazy.
Every single day, and it just gets worse as the years go by. And you know what? I have noticed that some artists, they get shit talked to a lot more than others.
Yeah.
So I have the most people talking shit. I have so many people talking shit on my pages all the time. And I have noticed over the years that some artists get a lot more people talking shit to them than others. So if that is the case with me, what do you think it is? What causes some people to get people talking shit to them all the time, as opposed to some people just don't get that?
Well, what comes to my mind right away is there might be something you're doing to attract that. Now, I'm not saying you are, because I've never seen you say nothing to make me want to react that way.
Yeah.
But I'm a big believer in what you get is what you're attracting. So it might be because you're rapping. I mean, you know what I mean? Maybe your content's on your raps. You're rapping. You are a rapper. You are telling stories. There might be some stuff that they're just not liking.
Yeah.
But I've never seen you do it like you. Like, a rapper is a rap. When you rap to me, that's a, what is that word? That's
like a character?
It's a character. Yeah, it's a character. So maybe because you're putting your story out there, and keep in mind, they're playing your song. They can play it 1,000 times if they want. It's not like they're talking to you, they're listening to the same song.
Yeah.
And maybe they're just, I don't know, or they're jealous. I have no idea. But my first thing that comes to my head is, everything you do, you attract. Everything you do, you acquire. And that even comes with success. Like success, you have to acquire it. You can't chase it, you can't buy it, you can't be it. You got to acquire that success. Whether you're a rapper, you acquire it, you work hard to be it. So, just to go back, now let's focus. I think maybe it's your rap, maybe it's your music.
Yeah.
Like the field you're in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, when it comes to rap, it's very, like, I don't want to say violent, but it's very,
it's aggressive.
It's an aggressive sport,
very aggressive.
So then people might just have that type of attitude. So when they go on your page, they probably just might feel some type of way.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And I see like other rappers or other female rappers, whatever. Not everybody gets talked shit to as much as the next person. And I use the block button all the time. I actually did a social experiment for a few months, and I stopped blocking people, and I actually unblocked a bunch of people because I was just doing an experiment. But I decided that that's not the life for me, and I went back to blocking everybody.
So did they go back? The people you blocked, did they go back talking shit?
Yes. The people that I had previously blocked, when I unblocked them, so many of them came back to talk more shit now that they were allowed to talk more shit.
So I think at that point, it's psychological on their end.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not even nothing to do with you. Just psychologically, that's how they operate. And here's the fucked up part about that is if they're doing it to you, they're doing it in real life to themselves.
Yes.
And I'm a real big believer in like I'm telling you, like the way you operate, the way you think. Sometimes you carry it with you without even knowing, and you are stopping yourself in your real life to become whatever you want to become, whatever people you want around you. Like you attract what you are, and I feel like a lot of people don't know that. Like don't know that, but they don't know they're doing that to themselves. That's why I'm very careful. That's why I would never talk shit, not because. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I do feel some type of way of some people. Like, damn, like, why is this person saying this? Or why are they thinking that way in my mind? But my integrity is like, you don't do that.
Yeah.
That person is saying what they want. Like, don't like interrupt their day or not their day, but their fun.
Their groove.
Yeah, their groove. Yeah. Like, it's not my business. I like to stay where I'm at, and I do what I do, and I do it in my daily operations. The way I make sure I'm just not that.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. So that's what you say to do, like online, and let's say like all these people that talk shit to me, they make me feel some kind of way, and that's why I block them. So what do you recommend people do when they're experiencing that, but in real life. Like, how do you build your confidence so that when somebody comes and knocks your hustle, you're okay to shake it off? Like, what exactly do you practice? I know you listen to your podcasts, but what would you tell somebody who's watching right now who is struggling with their self-confidence and they want to please everybody and they feel like shit? What would you tell them? How could they build up confidence?
Well, one of the things that helps me when I'm having hard times or not getting what I like, I always remind myself that technically nobody owes me shit, right? Like, they don't need to listen to my music, my podcast, my Instagram. They don't need to go to the events I'm doing. They don't need to go to my shop, buy my clothes. So if they're not doing it, then I'm not doing the work for them to be engaged in that, right? Like, it's a very clear, like black and white. If they're not liking your stuff, I'm not doing enough for them to like it.
That's like taking accountability for your actions. That's basically what I would translate that into, right?
I would try to be better. Like I was doing my Instagram and I was posting 3 times a day, getting no love, and I got 50,000 followers. So I was like, I'm doing something wrong. So I took my time, tried to figure it out. Now my engagement's a little bit higher. Now I'm getting 100 comments, 50 comments, but it took me a long time to figure out.
Yeah.
So that kind of clearly showed me that my old technique wasn't working.
Yeah.
Because, you listen to Gary Vee. Gary Vee's like, post 3 times a day. You gotta do so much stuff. And it was a total opposite for me.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think, it's nobody owes you shit. That's what I tell myself all the time. So if somebody, what were you saying? Like, if somebody's talking shit, how do I cope with it? Right.
Yeah, like what advice would you give to those people that are struggling with not having enough confidence? So what you said right now is very powerful.
Yeah,
I think it's very powerful.
Yeah, so that would be one thing for sure that I do not expect nothing from nobody unless I'm paying them.
I feel like I feel that realization for me was one of the most life-changing experiences and realizations that I ever have encountered.
Yeah.
When I realized that everything fucked up in my life was all my fault, I stopped blaming other people, That was a really powerful realization because I realized if I'm the one that fucked up my whole life, then I'm also going to be able to turn my life around. Yeah. Because I am the captain of my ship. And instead of saying, oh, it's because when I was little, this happened to me, and oh, it's because I'm a girl, oh, it's because I'm Mexican, oh, it's because blah, blah, blah. When I started saying, it is what it is. So now let me learn to navigate this. That was just really important for my growth of my personality, of my business, of my music, of my just everything, And so I really relate to that. Taking accountability is so important. I guess, that's one of the things that you said give earlier when I told you people take what I say the wrong way. That's one of the things that in life many times I have tried to explain that concept to people and they think, no, that's not fair. You can't just say for everybody. Not everybody was raised the same. Not everybody is the same as you. And I said, okay, look, I can totally agree with that. Not everybody is like me. Not everybody was raised like this. Not everybody has this. Not everybody, but that just comes back to saying, are you going to take the accountability or not? You can say, oh yeah, I was raised by a single mother and I have no leg and I was born here in the middle of the country with no money. Or, that's if that's your reality. That's a lot of people's realities. Yeah. But it's possible to come up out of anything. For sure. A lot of people don't want to hear that because they've built a whole identity around being a victim. Yeah. And they want to blame everybody else in the world system, for their mishaps.
A lot of people say the system doesn't allow me. They don't allow me. And I'm like, who's they? Can I have their number so I can call them so they can stop fucking with you? Yeah. And they're like, well, the system. Like, what system? Well, the way they don't hire people. And it's like, bro, like, me who I have a business and I'm always looking for skilled people to hire. I'm looking for those people that are fucking badass motherfuckers that can make shit happen. And I guess that's the they. Like that.
Those people that stand out.
Well, not the people that stand out. Like, like
like you are they.
The term of looking for somebody who's skilled is the they. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I understand what
you
you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like go to like the education part of learning how to do something is the they, because it's a grunt work. You got to go out there. You got to go to school. You got to learn it. You got to learn statistics, analytics. You got to learn marketing. There's so much you got to learn that's the they, which is the grunt work. It's the hard work.
Yeah.
You know, it's the hard work that goes behind it. Like put in your work and you'll get more.
Yeah. Right? I feel like people expect everything to come to them so easily, and that's not. And also when I say that too, I don't want to disregard the fact that people do have setbacks, and some of us have it harder than the others for sure. I'm not saying that that's not true, but I'm saying that you have to accept who you are and what you've been through and where you were. Then you can move forward and progress, you know.
What was one of the first things when you started rapping? Did anybody show you how to, like, you know, like for example, like the clothing brand, for example, I didn't learn, but I learned the song for somebody else, how to sell CDs, and then from there it transpired to clothing. But I learned it. You know, who was your mentor? How did you come up with the idea to rap?
I always used to write poems since I was a kid.
Okay.
I remember when I first learned how to spell, I started writing poems and short stories. I was so excited to spell when I was like in kinder or however old you were. And then when I was in junior high, I think I was in the 7th or 8th grade, but that's when I discovered underground hip hop. And because, you know, when we were kids, there was no YouTube. There was just MTV. And I don't even remember what else. It was just MTV and BET, you know? So I thought I always loved hip hop. So I grew up listening to the radio, you know. But then when I discovered underground hip hop, which is just independent hip hop, I thought to myself, oh shit, of course there's people that are not on the radio that rap too. Maybe I could do that. And so the first people that I grew up really listening to in the underground scene was Murs, Atmosphere,
shout out,
Immortal Technique.
And those are really underground artists.
Yeah.
I mean, Murs, Atmosphere, like that's underground shit.
Yeah.
That's not whatsoever mainstream. Those are two of the dopest artists that I saw the fuck out of.
That's cool. Yeah. They're really dope. And honestly, I have just learned so much from watching other independent artists, including those people that I just named. I just know that with social media, and even before social media was really that big like how it is now, you can just study people and learn a lot from watching them. Everything that I've learned, I've taught myself from watching people that I look up to, watching those fools, watching other people in the game that are doing what I want to do. I just study them and get ideas from them, then tweak them out a little bit, the ideas, and then make it into my own. And I feel like that's the best way to learn. You have to learn from the greats. It's like, it's cool. Books are so important. It's important to read. I try to read. I don't read a lot, but I definitely do read. And
you read more than me, because I don't read for shit.
Oh shit. Okay, but you listen to podcasts and stuff, and it's basically the same thing.
I do.
It's basically the same thing. But somebody explained it to me that books is like you're reading 200 pages, but that's somebody's 40 years of philosophy in a book.
Yeah.
So you're basically like having all their wisdom being taught to you in a book or in a podcast or on YouTube. You know, if you're listening to other people's knowledge, you can learn what it took them decades to learn in just a couple months or a couple weeks or however long it takes you to read the book or listen to the podcast. So that's why it's really important that we do stuff like that. And I feel like that's why that for sure I know has helped progress our development as people, as businessmen, as entrepreneurs, and even as spiritual people, or whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm not religious, but I definitely do I definitely do see the power that I have, and I see how it affects other people, and I see when I put the work into something, how it will come back, you know?
Yeah.
So I think all that's really important.
I mean, could you mention books and I fucking hate reading. I could barely read one page because I'm on the first line. I'm already thinking what I'm gonna do the next day in my mind. Like, I'm just not paying attention.
Yeah.
So I give you a shout out on that. I'm reading books, but also want everybody out there to know that I don't read books and I still getting a lot of knowledge from YouTube. Like, YouTube is the King Kong for me. The YouTube and university. Yeah, YouTube University.
That's good. I feel like that's something that's really important, and I'm glad we're touching on that, because people have this idea of how we're supposed to consume information, just like how people always back in the day, that goal of life was to go to high school, then you go to college, then you get a career, and then you get a family and a house, and you have 2 kids and a dog, and then you work at that same job forever, and then you retire from your pension, and then, you know, which there's nothing wrong with living like that. There's nothing wrong with living like that. But that's what we're programmed to think is regular. So the reason I bring that up is that there's nothing wrong with not reading. You don't have to read to be successful or smart, just like you're saying right now.
I could read, but I just hate reading.
But that's why it's better that you figure out what's the best way that you learn yourself, because just because the world says, oh, you're supposed to read books and that's the only way you could be smart, that's not true. You have to find what is the correct learning style for you. Some people like to read, some people like to listen to podcasts, some people only have to physically go through the experience to learn about it. Some people need to go into class, some people prefer online class. There's no correct way of learning, but I just want to put it out there to make sure people know that, so that you can experiment and figure out what works best for you. For sure.
Because if I, like my mom was really big in school. She's like, I don't care what you do, just go to school and graduate. That was her thing.
Like from high school or from college or both?
Well, yeah, of course. First it was high school, and then she was pressing me to go to college. Like she was pressing me like you need college, you need it, which she was definitely right. But I just wasn't in that state of mind.
Did you go to college?
I attempted to go to college. I didn't learn nothing.
Yeah.
I went because of her.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was the type of mom's like, you need to get a city job to be successful.
Yeah.
You need a post office, a fireman, a cop. You know, you work whatever it is. If you get a city job, you're like fucking you haven't made.
Yeah.
Right? That was her mentality. But you know, so that's what I try to do for her. You know, I try to be that, but it wasn't. It just wasn't. You know.
Yeah.
I only had one job in my life, only one, and she got it for me. It was doing medical billing. And at that time, I was already going to the Swami, right? So, you know, I was selling CDs. One CD, you make $10. 2 CDs, you make 20. Right? Customer will come up, $20. Next customer in the next 2 minutes, $40. So I'm making like $200 an hour. Yeah. I'm selling like 10, 20 CDs, right? 20 CDs is $200. So when I got that job, I don't know what they were paying me at that time, but it was nothing near.
It was not $200 an hour.
It was nothing near. So then that's when I was like, yo, this doesn't make no sense, Mom. Yeah. I'm like, what? This doesn't make no sense. So, you know, luckily my mom's hella cool. She just like, do what you want, mijo. Like, you already graduated. Just do what you want, but just make sure that you're not being a bum.
That's cool. You know what? I'm gonna stop you there because I want to ask you. So as you know, we're entrepreneurs, so we hang out with a lot of other entrepreneurs. Yeah. And I know that you've run into so many people who are entrepreneurs that have to deal with their family not believing in their vision and telling them what to do, telling them, oh, you can't make art, you have to go to college. Oh, you can't work at the selling shit at the swap meet, flipping shit. You have to have a family. Oh, you can't move to New York. You have to live here because this is where we grew up. You know, so your mom, thank God she was trying to lead you to do what she was trying to do what she thought was best for you, but then thank God she gave you the liberty to also follow your dreams, you know. But what would be the advice that you could give people who don't have a supporting mother like you? What would you tell the artists and entrepreneurs out there that are constantly dealing with people, family members, people that they live with, their friends saying it's not going to work, you're going to fail, you're wasting your time? What would you tell them? How would you encourage them to keep going? Or would you encourage them to keep going?
No, yeah. So,
of course, right?
So I always try, because that's a coping mechanism we need to learn, right? So my coping mechanism on that is, foremost, what I'm trying to become, my mom doesn't know me in that. So therefore, she's trying to protect me from not being that, because she doesn't, in her, obviously, mind doesn't know nothing about entrepreneurship. She's like, how are you going to survive, right? Yeah. So as a mom, she's like, no, you got to get a job at the post office. Yeah. So that's how I cope with it. I just, in the back of my head, I'm like, well, my friends don't know what I'm trying to become until I become it. So that's why they're always all against little ideas or against you becoming. For example, if I was to tell you I'm gonna quit right now and I'm gonna go be a priest, you might be like, what? That Jimmy, like, what? That doesn't that doesn't jive with me.
Yeah.
But it's because you don't know me that way.
Yeah.
So you got to picture, my mom didn't know me as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
My cousins, if I wanted to become a rapper, don't know me in that until I become that. Then it's going to be fine. So that's, that's how I look at things, So till this day, none of my family knows what I do.
Oh, shit. That's interesting.
To the in-depth of it. They might know I saw at the Swami. They might know that they see me on some type of interviews. Yeah. But they don't know in the in-depth. I mean, there's even some that even... I used to have a smoke shop, and one of my cousins, who is, she's into rehab and helping people, get out of drugs. She would always be mad at me. She's like, because I saw bongs and all that, so she would.
Okay.
Yeah, she would like blame me, like, how could you do that? You're a fucking drug dealer, like, and it's like I would just kind of be like, look, just let me do what I do. You do what you do, and that's it. Like, don't try to judge me on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it goes back to, like, in my mind, I just have to understand that she doesn't understand and comprehend what I'm trying to do with that business.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't selling fucking not weed. I was just selling some pipes. Who the fuck doesn't smoke weed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just, that's how I would see it. I would be like, don't get mad at your parents. And by the way, they're gonna be the ones that are gonna judge you the most because they love you.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go down a hill and they know that it's gonna, your car is just gonna tumble into the fucking darkness of death, they're gonna tell you don't do that.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to protect you, but in our reality, they just don't see you in that. How can I put it in that light? Being that character or that artist or that sponsor or that independent person. So
I feel like that was a really important thing for me to learn too, and I feel like that's something that all of us are gonna have to deal with our whole lives. Is that exactly what you said? They don't know that version of you that you're trying to become.
Yes.
And also a lot of people that are telling you, oh, it's not going to work. Or what if you fail? What's your backup plan? It's not that they don't want you to do your dreams. It's just that they're scared that you might fail and they know all the hurt that will come if you do fail. But you know what? Another thing that I will say when I do say that is if you're gonna succeed, you're gonna fucking fail over and over and over and over. And people don't realize that about success. People only see the best, easiest parts of everything we put out, right? We make it look so easy. Oh, everyone's like, oh, you're lucky. Oh, if I had that, if I look like that, if I was born here. People always think that it's so much easier than it really is because they just see the shiny parts. But to succeed is full of failure on the road to success, and there's nobody that's succeeding in life that doesn't lose, that doesn't fail, that doesn't fuck up, that doesn't lose money on an investment, that doesn't have somebody betray them in business, that doesn't make a mistake that they've made a million times. We're all going through the same thing. So just be prepared for all the entrepreneurs out there that are trying to do their own thing. This shit takes fucking years, and even when you start making money and succeeding, you're still gonna fail sometimes. It's part of the process, right?
I definitely fucking lost a lot of times.
Yeah,
so much. Like, I mean, I could be here all night telling you how my bad, so you guys could feel sorry for me. But definitely, your L's are lessons. It's 100% true.
Back to that, hell yeah.
Angel, what do you think?
Sound deep. Real philosophical.
So when I was last night thinking how we're gonna do this podcast, I had so many fucking ideas, but one of them that came up to me is because I've known you for a long time, and I've never seen you with a guy, right? But we're not gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna talk about who you with or whatnot. I want to talk about, like, when you are with a guy, there's certain things that girls don't like from guys. Like, for example, like one of my ex girls, I would, like, if I was on YouPorn, she would fucking completely flip the fuck out. Like, if she would open up my browser and it's on YouPorn, she's like, you're cheating. Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
About porn?
Like, what if your man's watching porn? Like, would you get mad?
I for sure would not get mad. I mean, as long as it's not an addiction and he's just fucking jacking off 5 times a day when I'm in the house with him,
Well, I mean, I think at that point,
then that would be, like, to me, the only way if it would be weird. But if I'm not there and fuck it, I mean, I don't have a problem with porn. But
because I think almost all my girlfriends did. Like, it was just taboo. Like, why are you on porno? Are you cheating on me? Do you not like? Am I not turning you on or something like that? So I just,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, I think if anything, it's pretty proactive on being like, turn on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watch some porn with your lady. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one.
You know what? One thing about just sex in general and even just relationships in general that I've realized in life is like there's no right or wrong, you know? You're not wrong for watching porn if that's what you want to do and that's who you are.
Yeah.
And the girls that didn't like it, there's nothing wrong with them not liking it either, but it does mean that you guys are not compatible. And I feel like people really jump into relationships after not knowing somebody for a long time, or people get pregnant right away after knowing somebody for 6
That's
months.
crazy too.
You know, anybody's fun after just 6 months, you know, but when you start getting to really know somebody, that's when you're going to really realize if you're compatible or not. And I feel like so many people jump into pregnancies and relationships and then they just stay together because they're trying to chase that fantasy that they had of the person when they first met them in the first 2 months, and now they're completely different and they can't let it go. You know, I feel like that's more of the problem that I would say right there, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, if I have to hide that I'm watching that, I'm gonna get caught again, and then she's gonna get pretty pissed.
Yeah.
And I used to always like going to the Standard, and my ex-girlfriend didn't like me going to the Standard. So what did I have to do? I had to lie to her that I was somewhere else when really I was just going there. Harmless too, just to go chop it up with my friends. You know, I like to drink and look at the sky, kind of dream. You know, like it's like La La Dreamland. And I had to lie. And then what happened? Somebody saw me there. They told her. So automatically she was like, you lied to me. It just created so much big issues.
So what did you learn from that? Would you be with another woman who you had to lie to like that? Do you think that's just part of relationships, lying? Or did you learn that maybe you don't want to be with somebody who's going to be possessive and insecure and not let you go have a drink after a long night of work?
Foremost, I learned just don't fuck around. Because if you fuck around, then I have to lie, which creates other lies, and I have to continue to get the lie going. So I just learned now, like, just don't fuck around, keep open, let them know where you're going, and spend some time with them, and they'll be cool.
Yeah.
You gotta spend time with them, like,
yeah.
fuck.
I'm very big on honesty. I cannot fuck with people who are gonna be lying to me, and that's not even just with love, that's just also with friendship, with business, that's with family. I like to be really open and transparent about things, and if I find out that somebody is lying to me, that's a super non-negotiable thing in my life. I feel like if you don't want to tell me certain things, that's fine, but if somebody's making up a whole ass lie and creating something that's not there and saying it is, that's when I have a problem with it.
Yeah, just like some guys don't let the girls go out to parties, right? Like, they're kind of like, you can't go out with your friends. Like me,
Absolutely.
I'm like, I'm rather you go out with your friends, because let's just say you're a little bit of a liar. I'm going to see it sooner. Right? Like, if it's, your true feelings will show when you're out there having fun. So I'd rather know from the gate than to wait 3-4 years, like, find out, like, oh, this fucking girl's a liar. Like, she's been playing around the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I just want to ask you that because, I have, when it comes to girls, I have, like, not bad luck, but bad luck in regards of, like, they're always mad because I like to work. I'm always doing things. Like, I'm always out at the music videos. You know, even, like, you know, I'm always hitting you up. What are you doing? Let's go drink. Like, they wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, maybe I just picked the wrong girls.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's probably what it is.
I picked the wrong ones. Sheesh. Well, where's the book on that? What do I learn on that? Because I have bad taste, I guess, and personality and character.
Maybe
because they're beautiful girls, but characters.
I feel like that's probably a really big problem that I feel probably most people experience. Yeah, it's that usually the people that you end up dating, it's because initially you're sexually attracted to them.
100%.
Absolutely. And I feel like especially for men, that's more the case because you guys are just more visual in general than we are, and we're more about emotions and feelings. So I feel like that can really be deceptive because somebody could look really attractive, but looks get old
fucking
real fast.
Shitty ass integrity. It's funny because they did a case study where they found out that relationship lasts longer when the girl's prettier and the guy's uglier.
Why is that? What was the theory?
So the theory was that when the girl's pretty, the guy's always trying to not impress her, but make sure he doesn't lose her. So he's always continuously, being being there for her. Like, compared to a guy who's better looking and the girl's ugly, the guy just doesn't give a fuck about her, right? He's out partying, everybody wants him, so he's not really tripping. So the girl, the relationship doesn't work out as long as the opposite, which kind of makes sense, right?
It does make sense.
Because I've seen some girls who are pretty, like you consistently wanna lose her, like
yeah.
So you always be doing things for them or whatnot. But and obviously, if the girl is not a cheater, then the relationship will last forever.
Just because she's not a cheater?
Well, no, if she's not, because obviously I'm not going to always be like looking out for her and being there for her and doing certain things to impress her or be, I guess, romantic or be like that guy that's there for his lady. I mean, I learned so much comforting. I never knew the difference between comforting somebody and being there for them. Like, now I learn, like, hey, maybe they don't need your advice. Maybe they just need you to comfort them.
Yeah.
And I mean, nobody never taught me that. I guess my dad. I don't have a dad, so now I learned that. I never knew that there was a difference. I thought you just be there for them, watch some movies, and kind of like kick them game.
And what about
like a business talk?
Yeah, for the people that are hearing you say that right now, what exactly to you is the difference between being there for somebody and comfort somebody? Like how somebody right now, I'm sure, is like, what the hell? That's the same thing, What is the difference? Explain to the people who can benefit from that information.
If somebody is coming at you because they're down or they're expressing to you that you're not giving them enough time, now I learned that you just sit and listen and you comfort them. Like, it's going to be okay. We're going to work it out. Compared to before, I would probably get mad and be like, you're always fucking bitching. Like, why you not, like, why, shut the fuck up. Like, let me do what I do.
Yeah.
And then obviously that would rub them the wrong way. So now I learned, like, furthermore, you got to spend time with them. Once again, you got to spend time. You got to put in your time. That's your due diligence as a relationship. Yeah. But at the same time, when they are complaining, just listen, even if you don't agree.
Yeah.
Like, usually if they're telling me something I don't like, I'll just listen and maybe address it the next day.
Okay.
But like, hey, remember you said that? Like, what do you mean by that? Like,
yeah.
And then approach it that way. When before I would just snap, like, what? Fuck you. Let me go do what I want to do. Why are you complaining?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's for me. I didn't know that, and that might sound like a basic ass rule, but nobody taught me that.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people have not been introduced to that concept yet. I think it's a good thing. Yeah, some people just want to vent. They don't want to hear you say, hey, I know you're complaining about your weight all the time. Maybe you could go on a diet, or maybe you could do, some people don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear solutions.
Yeah.
Don't try to tell me what I should do to make it better.
Yeah.
Just comfort me and let me know that it's going to be okay.
Yeah. And I feel like I don't have a problem with people telling me. When I am expressing myself, I like when people give me feedback.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that that's how everybody has to be,
Yeah.
So I feel like if you are a person that doesn't want to get feedback, you should open the discussion by saying, I want to vent to you, but I don't want you to say anything because I just want to talk about how I'm feeling. Yeah, that would help. But a lot of people have a problem being open and honest about how they feel, So anybody watching right there, don't expect people to be quiet if you're telling them your problems. People are going to want to help if you're telling them your problems. Yeah. But if you say, I don't want to hear your feedback, I just want to vent, then they'll know, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, that's one of the things that I would always complain, like, bro, like, expectations are crazy. If I'm trying to go somewhere and I wake up in the morning, take a shower and leave, and they're like, why are you not even going to help me pack? Like, well, why didn't you just tell me that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I'll help you. I had no idea you needed help doing something.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure, let people know, be transparent, because that's one thing that I wouldn't be neither. Now I'm a little bit more transparent on things, kind of like listen, then tell them, hey, vice versa, listen to me and we talk about it. I don't know. I feel like I'm a lot more hip to it now.
That's good.
Before I wasn't for shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I was selfish, you know. I was into myself a lot. Like
Yeah.
I really love studying and learning, and it would just bug me when I want to just watch TV. When now it's like maybe I do have to watch TV. That's our time. So that's what you want to do. Fuck it. That's why now I'd rather meet a woman who is as successful and being successful as me. So then that way we can do things together. That's dope. You know, going to a seminar, going to marketing business. You know what I'm saying? Like that's exciting to me. So if I meet somebody like that, it's like, wow, that's a special as girl.
Yeah.
You know, so
I know exactly what you mean because I have tried to date people that just want to watch Netflix and just
you
kick
just think
it
trappers, Rev. Come on, stop it. You're like those girls. You know how guys just like cute girls? They don't care. It's like girls just like dating trappers. And I don't even know if you do. I'm just saying. Like that's what most girls do. Just trappers, balling ass fools with that. You know, like just trapping all day.
I mean, it doesn't have to be trapping, you know. But I for sure only date guys that are as successful or more successful than me because that does cause problems. You know, they don't understand why I'm working so much. They get jealous when I have to go to do a podcast with people that I fuck with, you know. Or
that's crazy. For a guy to be jealous to me is nuts.
Yeah, guys are really jealous.
No,
not
way.
Every guy, but a lot of just people, guys and girls.
I'll be encouraging my girl. You can do a podcast? Go. What the fuck?
And I only date people like that.
Go learn it and bring it back and let's chop it up, you know?
I've tried to date people that weren't trying to really reach a big level of success like I am. And it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out because that's something that's really important to me. And honestly, I don't want to watch fucking 4 hours of Netflix. I'd rather go talk at somewhere cool or go to a museum or just go do something. Go to the beach, you know? I don't like to be just sitting on the couch doing nothing.
Yeah, no. I'm the same way. Unless it's a documentary, then I'm there.
Yeah, once in a while, you know, but not every day. You know, like I just don't feel good doing that.
Man, yeah, I could only imagine your DMs.
My DMs is a whole lot of bullshit.
I can only imagine because I have homegirls. I'll be looking, I'll be tripping down their DMs. Guys sending dick pictures, and you know, guys don't get pussy pictures. You know that, right?
I mean,
I've never. I mean, we might get some naked pictures, but we've never seen like pussy pictures
from a random girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get pussy pictures too.
You know, there is crazy ass girls though, for sure. There's crazy girls, crazy fucking girls. I think girls are probably more creative than guys.
In what way?
Because you see, girls, when girls don't get something they like, they just take it a notch higher. Sexier pictures, prettier fucking makeup, and to the point where you just like break down. Like you end up responding like, what's up, you know?
Oh, that's so interesting because I'm not that kind of girl. I'm the kind of girl that if I'm not getting what I want out of something, then I'm just going to keep it pushing. And I'm not going to try to force myself to be appealing to somebody that's obviously not interested in me genuinely, you know? I've learned that lesson. I feel like that's a lesson you got to learn over and over too, is to know your value and just understand that not everybody's going to value you as much as some other people will. And I feel like that's something that I have really learned is important to me, to just keep it pushing if it's not being reciprocated. Like I will not bend 100%. Over backwards and do all that crazy shit for somebody.
100% sure.
I will do all those things, but because that's what I want to give them, and it's out of a good place because I know they fuck with it, they like it, you know. But I'm not gonna be bending over backwards if somebody's not.
No, for sure. I really learned. Like me, anybody on Instagram, I won't fuck with, because if they're part of the scene, it's just bad news for me. I don't know.
I feel it.
I like them to be as far away as possible from the scene. Yeah. Be into something totally different, but yet it's still the same foundation of building.
Yeah, I feel it.
So in that way, we it's like I don't have to be worrying about fools or worrying about them doing something. I don't know. Yeah. I have to keep it separate.
I feel that. It's nice.
Weird. I just wanted to ask you that. Sheesh. Let me see what else. Man, I feel like, you know, you being a woman. And people always, I personally feel that you have an advantage being a woman than a guy in the business, in any business. And the reason I say that is because a girl attracts way more people than a guy would attract people. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree.
Well, maybe, and let me also add on, so you also have more perspective. You do attract a lot more, but there's a lot more BS in it too.
Yeah.
Like for example, I might get 20 DMs, you might get 100 DMs. Your 100 DMs, 99 might be the wrong DMs. Only one will be cool compared to mine. Maybe 10 will be good, and the other ones will be bullshit.
Yeah.
But I still think if you learn how to, which I think you have, you learn how to maneuver and not fall in those little wrong DMs. You in fact have a better opportunity to be clicked on and listened to and liked and commented.
I feel like I disagree with that, and I guess the evidence that I would give to support that it's the opposite way is that in the entertainment industry and in every single industry, men are on top. Men get paid more, men are more famous, men sell out bigger stadiums. The amount of women compared to the amount of men that do anything in places of power, we're outnumbered by far. And that's changing nowadays. And so that's why I would say I disagree with that.
But that one girl who is up there is fucking up there. Nicki Minaj. Megan Stallion.
But Nicki Minaj had to work a long
for sure.
time
Don't get me wrong. I never said that you're not gonna. You definitely put in your work, but there's just like there's way more attraction there. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like the power is way. I mean, it might be hard to get to where you want to get to, but the power is so much more powerful. You know, like acting. Angelina Jolie. Who's that? Angelina Jolie. Like that's a fucking huge star. You know, like it's not just it's either it's you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I know what you mean. And there's I don't know, I guess I just disagree. I feel like guys have a lot of advantages, and I feel like that's definitely changing in a lot of areas, you know, and I don't think it's a bad thing, and I'm not like, oh man, fuck men, they have it all. Like I don't think like that either.
Is that what you're saying, Ren?
No, but a lot of girls I'm not one of those girls. We know those girls that's like, oh fuck man, the men are trash. I'm not one of those girls. I have 6 brothers and I have amazing men in my life. I love my dad, and you know, you guys are fucking cool. I don't feel like that about guys, but I definitely do feel like in general men do have a lot of advantages over women. Women didn't even used to be able to vote.
No, for sure. Like I 100%. I do agree that it's a lot more harder to be a woman. I'm just saying, like, if you are that one woman, you're gonna fucking like the longevity is so much more there.
There's like it's really changing to make that possible right now.
Yeah.
And I do think that it is because of strong women like Nicki Minaj, like Meg Thee Stallion, Kim Kardashian.
Oh yeah,
you know,
thank you.
It is.
Keep going.
Yeah,
like look at Kim
Hillary
Kardashian,
Clinton.
bro.
You know, there's a lot of strong women. Whether I'm fans of them or not, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean that I can't give respect where respect is due. These women are pioneering the world right now. They're changing.
It's incredible.
They're changing so much right now.
It's incredible. Like what I see happening with the woman is, like I'm telling you, I'm just like wow. Like Kim Kardashian, how many followers does she have?
A lot.
Hey, Angel, check who has the most followers. If it's a woman or a guy. Check real quick.
I think it's a.
The soccer player.
It is.
So it is a guy. Oh, you won me.
I know where I saw that.
No, it is a soccer one. He's the why? And who the fuck? I never even know who the guy is, and he's like the most followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I think wasn't Ariana Grande in the top?
Oh yeah,
right. I think.
Check the top 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes happening with women and men.
Huh?
The Instagram account.
Yeah, on just type in.
One is Instagram.
So the actual Instagram.
The one is Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's the soccer player guy?
Yeah, that's the soccer.
Okay.
The one is The Rock.
The Rock. Okay, so shit, 2 guys.
And the 4th one is Ariana Grande.
Okay, 4th.
Okay.
Oh, what's the 5th one? Because the first one don't count.
Kylie Jenner.
Okay, so it's 2 and 2.
And Selena Gomez.
Okay, so it's 2 and 3. Keep going.
Selena Gomez is 6, then it's Kim Kardashian, and then it's Lionel Messi, the soccer player.
Another guy.
Damn, soccer players.
Soccer players are doing it.
The whole world watches football.
That's crazy. That's
For
crazy.
sure.
So, anyways, yeah, that's a good topic that I wanted to touch on. Like, I mean, look, bro, I definitely feel like women are so powerful. I grew up with nothing but women, and they're so fucking powerful. But when utilized the correct way, and because I do know there's a lot of bullshit that happens to women, catcalling. You know, you can't be sexy because you're gonna have possibly even get harassed, DMs, like. But once you kind of empower yourself to be able to push all that aside, there's no stopping a woman.
I feel that. I definitely do see what you're saying, and I definitely do acknowledge that we for sure have advantages that you guys don't. Absolutely. There's different advantages and disadvantages to both.
Yeah, I agree.
I think like I'm just really grateful to be alive in this time as a woman in the industry, and to be one of those women that is changing the game.